Anthony Hartwig here with a Howland girls soccer player profile. We are joined by Taylor Fairchild. Taylor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yep, thank you.
So here you are, Taylor. We're having you on because really your story is incredible. You've been through more adversity, I think, in your career than maybe some athletes will have in their entire career, even past high school. Um, One of the first questions I have for you is just what keeps you driven, because you've gone through some stuff that would make most people quit like halfway through,
Yeah.
right? But you kept just knocking down these obstacles left and right. You have to have something that keeps you driven through all of it.
Honestly, it's just my team and being there for my team. It's for myself too. Soccer's just it's what I love, and like even though those two ACL surgeries, obviously they suck for the past. I've had constant surgeries the past 2 years. Those injuries, painful and everything, but just trying to be there for my team, getting back for them, having my parents and everyone else support me, it really helped a lot to get through.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about, the first ACL. People have gotten through that, but then it happens on the other side. So now you have two of them on the two different legs. I mean, was there ever a moment where it was like the universe is against me?
Yeah, like when it first happened, it was like the first one was obviously a little bit easier, but the second one, like, am I going to be able to play with two braces on my legs? Am I still going to be able to dive in the direction I need to? Is my movement still going to be there? Obviously, my movement is kind of limited right now, but I'm working on getting it all back. But there was times where I doubted when I'd be back or not, but it's all
You
good now.
obviously worked extremely hard to get back. Tell me what it meant to you when you heard those words from the doctors, like you are clear, you are good to go, you have nothing holding you back anymore.
Yeah, so though, like, especially this time too, because my last one I was back in 5.5 months. Usually it's a 9 to 12 month recovery, but my doctor tries to release kids around 6 months. But being back in those 5.5 the first time was just amazing. But the second time, like, I had a lot of people just saying like, "There's no way you can be back." Um, but as soon as I heard those words, I think 2 weeks ago, that you can play after 5 months of this, it was just like probably one of the best things I ever heard. I ran up and I hugged my mom. I started crying a little bit. It was just like the best news I could ever heard.
We talked about how hard the second one was after the first one, but how much did going through the recovery of the first one kind of help you with knowing what you were going to go through, knowing what it took to get back after the second one?
Yeah, so obviously the first one made the second one a lot easier. I already knew everything I was gonna have to go through. I started like jogging and stuff around 2 months, which usually is around three. But like everything from the first surgery just really helped with my second one. Just like just knowing like what's gonna happen, because the first one I just didn't know what was going on.
One of the biggest things we talk about with knee injuries is not just physically being ready, but mentally being ready. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to go trust your knees to do what they're supposed to do on the field. How much was that a hurdle for you, being able to just mentally trust your body to not go out and get hurt?
Um, I really never had a problem with that. I've always like I trusted my doctors, my physical therapist, just getting back and everything. The braces obviously help with the mental part of it, but there's some times where like if I like land the wrong way, I get like a little jump scare, like am I gonna get hurt? But then I just get up and I'm fine. There's definitely like a hurdle and stuff there, but it's definitely so much like yeah.
I want to talk about the support system you've had through all this, because you don't get through it alone. We're talking about how strong you are, which you are, but you obviously have people in your corner. You have people that are building you up. Who were some people that you think were intricate in getting you through all this?
Well, obviously my parents, my sister, my physical therapist, Troy Parks, they helped so much with the mental part of it. There was probably like 2 months ago where I really didn't think I was gonna be back, and just my dad just really helped me through that. He helped me still work, like throwing the football with me in the backyard, like stuff like that. My teammates, they would come over and just talk to me, just be there, and like they would talk to me at practices, like during the preseason when I couldn't play, like they would just talk to me, just ask me how everything was going, and it really helped.
Now let's talk about this team you're on, class of 26. So you're officially an upperclassman. Asked to be a little bit more of a leader on this team now, as one of those ones that has been through it for a couple of years. What's it like going into your junior season and trying to be a little bit more of a leader this year as a junior?
Yeah. So obviously, like helping the freshmen out, like trying to get the freshmen to fit more like kind of fit in with the team. There's obviously like I have a lot more weight on my shoulders having to talk more, communicate on the field, communicate off the field, just helping people through things and stuff like that.
A lot of players go into a season with certain personal goals, stats, whatever it may be. I know your first goal was just get back on the field. Now
Yeah.
that you're there, what are some goals you have for this season? What are some things that you think you want to accomplish?
I really want to get at least probably around 8 shutouts, 7 or 8 shutouts. I really just want to, knock those off. My goal in the beginning was, so when I first got my surgery, when I started punting again, my punts weren't as far, but I've worked that out, and now my punts are back to where they were. But I definitely want to work on my distribution stuff again. Just knowing where to be, everything, communication, stuff like that.
You get to go out and represent Howland, every night. You get to put that tiger on your chest, and just represent the school system. What makes you proud to represent the community and to be able to say that you're a Howland Tiger?
Howland is a great school. I mean, I don't know if I really want to go anywhere else. Just the school's great. The teachers, staff, everyone, the students. There's obviously some up and downs, but everyone's really great. I'm really proud to wear the Howland Tiger every night, support just everything.
I almost said wear the orange and black, but you wear a lot of purple.
Yeah, I do wear
We've seen the
purple.
purple.
Yeah.
But let's talk about just being a goalie. I like talking to goalies because I feel like there's this mentality that goalies have that you can't teach. It's something that you either have or you don't. You're out there on an island. You're the last line of defense. When did you kind of fall into this role of a goalie, and when did you kind of fall in love with it too?
Well, I didn't really start playing goalie till about my 8th grade year. It was competitive Howland soccer, so we just played like at Howland Park and stuff like that. So I was the goalie there, but I never really was like committed to it. Like it's just something I did. But I went back to club soccer at SBA, and one of my friends said how I was a goalie at competitive soccer, and my club coach is also my Howland coach, Greg. He's a great coach, but then he started training me for goalie that whole winter, and then freshman season, that's when really my heart fell into it. Just like there's something about like everything just I don't it's just I love goalie. I mean, you can save the game and
You absolutely can. I mean, talk about the couple of things about goalies that I think I want to know what's going through your mind. First, the other team has a breakaway, right? And you kind of are understanding it's going to be me and this girl one-on-one. I'm the last line of defense. What's going through your mind in that point?
I just need to get the ball. I need to get the ball away from the net. Just do everything I can just to stop that ball from going in.
And then maybe one of the most popular points of a soccer game, or definitely the one that gets the most looks and highlights, the penalty kicks, right? Everyone loves penalty kicks.
Yep.
What's your routine for a penalty kick?
So usually for penalty kicks, I'm just ready on the line. But what I do is I look at you can tell by the way people shoot on their hips. Like if you just look at their hips, you can tell where they're going to shoot. Like I just look at their eyes and stuff like that. For penalty kicks, I just kind of relax, just get ready for the shot.
You are not just an athlete, you're a student too. I want to talk a little bit about you in the classroom and what have been some of your favorite subjects so far in Howland, favorite things to study?
Well, I would say right now I love algebra. I love math. Math is probably my thing, but recently switched to history. I love history and stuff like that. But for college, I would like to do some sort of physical therapy because I've been through so much stuff that has just kind of set in for me that that's what I want to do.
You've been seen by so many physical therapists that you kind of know the deal now, right?
Yep.
When you talk about your favorite classes or math and history, I don't want to say least favorite because I don't want to dog the teachers out there.
Yeah.
But what are the classes that you think have taken the most work, or you think the hardest for you, or that you really had to dig deep to get good grades in?
Definitely English. I mean, I love writing essays. I've always been good at essays, but just having to analyze the text and stuff like that, it's just not as fun to me. Just having to just read words and answer questions, it's not as fun to me.
Are there any teachers, whether it be in the history department, the math department, the English department, or somewhere else that you think have impacted your high school journey that have really kind of been there for you throughout the first 3 years?
Yeah, so I haven't had this teacher yet. Her name is Miss Bass, but I have her this year. But every day in the halls when she'd see me, she just asked me how my knees were. Because I mean, I was on crutches, I was in a big brace. She would always just come and talk to me. My parents knew her when like they first got married, and she's just been a really great help. And I can't wait to have her for a teacher this year.
All right, as we continue to get to know you off the field, I want you to talk to us about your kind of game day routine. The game days are fun. What kind of is going through your head, at school during a game day, in that couple hours before the game, during game day? How do you get yourself ready for a match?
So when we have school on a game day, obviously it's a little bit harder because you have to go through school and stuff like that. But as soon as I get home, I get dressed, I get ready. Me and my dad go and meet out the field, and he gets me ready with like reaction time. I do a couple saves, punts. So I do like a practice before the game, and then days like Saturdays and stuff like that where I don't have school, I wake up early. I just kind of get myself put together, focused, watch a couple of film from the team we're playing, and then I also go practice with my dad, then go on the bus ride there.
Do you have a pregame playlist that you like to listen to? Are you a music person?
I don't really have a pregame playlist. I just kind of sit and talk to the team and stuff like that. But I like country music. There's sometimes where I listen to music. It's usually after the game though. But other than that, no.
All right, so if it's not music that gets you in that mental zone, what is it? Maybe it's 10 minutes before the game that just gets you in that zone you need to be in.
Honestly, the warm ups, just being like one on one with my coaches, just getting warmed up and stuff like that, asking them questions about like the other team, asking them what I should like do to be ready and stuff like that. That's what really helps me like lock in and focus and stuff like that.
In practice, I'm sure you have to go up against your teammates quite a bit. You have to give them,
Yeah.
a test. Who do you think is the hardest girl on the team to try to be a goalie against?
Oh, there's a lot of them, but Gracie Vilwalk is definitely one of the hardest. Like she has a great shot. Ava Yanucci, Ava Booth, Paris Gentes, just all of them. Gianna, she has a great shot. Just all of them. They're really hard to save.
In those kind of practices, when you guys are getting competitive with each other, how much do you think that helps you guys get better? Like, how much can you look at their shot and be like, hey, as a other goalie, like this is what they're looking at, and then they can say, hey, this is what I was seeing from your perspective, and things that maybe you need to get better at.
Yeah, so usually, like there's times where I go up to them and they shoot to my near post, and I just say, hey, the back post, I would have shot on the back post there just because it's a little bit more open, even though like the goalie can still have it covered, but I just like try to help them like know where to position the shot, like low corners, high corners, those are really hard to save, but just try and help them like with power, stuff like that.
You've talked about it before, how much you love this sport. You obviously worked so hard to get back on the field for it. I want to talk about kind of the things that do you see it as a future thing, or with the injuries, do you kind of see it as high school being the last end of the road?
I definitely want to go to college. I really the division really doesn't matter to me that much. Obviously, I like to go D2, D1, obviously, but I wouldn't be mad with D3. But the injuries and stuff, that's obviously a little downfall. But if I do get injured again, like with the surgery and stuff like that, I would probably end my career high school just so I could save my body for the future.
Let's also talk about kind of where you'd want to go. I know you might probably don't have something narrowed down yet, but as far as kind of a state or an area, like, do you want to travel? Do you want to stay close to home? Do you have an idea of that yet?
I don't want to go too far away. I'm fine with like probably like at maximum probably like 12 to 14 hours away. I don't really have any colleges I'm like necessarily looking at. I'm just looking everywhere, trying to figure out like the best colleges for schooling for what I want to do. That's just I'm just looking all around right now.
If you could live anywhere, right? Any state in the country, do you have like a dream state? Do you have a dream place?
Yeah, I really love Kentucky. I know it's kind of weird, but I really love Kentucky. We went there for vacation a couple times, and just I love the scenery and stuff there. We used to live in Florida. It's really nice there too.
That's a vacation that you've been on. Talk about maybe a family vacation you haven't gone to yet that you think would be a nice vacation to have.
Well, since we've been back from Florida, we haven't went on vacation, so I would love to go back there, visit some family that's down there and stuff like that. This like that would be a nice vacation to have.
Talk about the culture shock of going from Florida, where it's always warm, to up here where we're getting close to it being very, very cold again. What's that like for you?
Okay, so from when I was obviously a baby to when I was like 7 years old, we lived in Ohio. I lived over in Brookfield, and then we moved to Florida until I was like 11 or 12 years old, and then we moved back here. So obviously, like the switches, like on my body and everything, like the coldness. Like the first year hit so hard how cold it was. Like 70 degrees was cold to me. Like I'm over here wearing a jacket, and everyone's wearing just t-shirts and like shorts. It was hard.
That's great. One of the things that we do at the end of these player profiles is we give the player the chance to kind of thank their support system, the people that have always been there for them, the people that, they couldn't be where they are without. So I want to give you the time to do that, send out your shout outs. We're not the Oscars. We're not going to cut you off. So
Yeah.
give as many as you want and make sure the people in your corner know how much you care about them.
Yeah, definitely. I want to thank my parents, my sister, all of my teammates, all of my friends, my coaches, Coach Greg, Coach Chloe, Coach Ed, my old coach, Coach Kens. She was a great coach. My physical therapist, Troy Parks. And I wanted to thank myself because I don't know where I'd be if I didn't like push myself and be hardworking to get back.
Taylor, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and talk about your journey and your story. And we appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck this year. And we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
All right. Thank you.